Hello and welcome to today's episode of Date in a Blink, where we're hosting Peter and Jess for a Blink date.
Modern dating sucks, but it doesn't have to. Here on the Date in a Blink podcast, you'll listen in on 10-minute voice-only speed dates between strangers. The experience is designed to move people beyond mindless swiping and marathon messaging. Our position on online dating? It's time to stop collecting pen pals and start, going on actual dates.
Online dating? That actually involves dating? Is that even a thing anymore? But for real, dating should be fun. We hope listening in inspires y'all to try new ways of meeting people. Tune in every other week to hear a new couple go on a date. In between, we'll talk to relationship experts about how the date went and what we can learn from it.
Will our handpicked podcast matches find love on these Blink dates? Or will they say goodbye to each other after 10 minutes and never look back? Tune in to find out.
Before we jump into today's Blink date, here's a quick word from our sponsors.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain a bit. It's totally free, and Anchor will distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and lots of other podcasting platforms. Not only that, but it has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also lets you make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make your podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
We're here on Date in a Blink today with Peter and Jess. I'm going to let you two dive in, but in case it's helpful to get the conversation started, I'm going to leave you with this question. What's your favorite and least favorite chore?
Jess, I don't know if you want to go. I can start.
Okay, you can start.
Okay. So strangely enough, I actually really enjoy doing vacuuming just because it's a loud machine. I don't know. I feel powerful when I do it. So that's my favorite chore, I'd say. And then my least favorite chore is doing laundry just because I live in an apartment here in the city and I don't have an apartment in my unit. I have it in my building. So my elevators are super slow. So it's always a little bit of a hassle to go down to the laundry room and then do it and then bring it back up. So that's me.
Yeah, I'm the same way when it comes to laundry. That's what I was going to pick for my least favorite chore. Same thing. I have laundry in the basement, but it is so much better than not having laundry at all. Before I lived where I live now, I lived in a 6th floor walk up, and that was crazy. But when it came to laundry, what I would do for that is I used this service called Folded, and they would come up, take my bag of laundry, wash it, fold it, and deliver it back.
What? No way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the city.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was great. The only problem was it's then you have to time it, and it sometimes can take a day to get back. So as annoying as it is now having to do my own laundry, it is nice that I can just get it done and know that it'll be done in 2 hours versus putting everything together, scheduling a pickup, making sure I'm home when they drop it off.
Oh yeah. I've gotten kind of addicted to all the I literally I was running around 5 minutes before this call because I got my Whole Foods delivery. So it's such a pain because you have to make sure that they come on time, and I was actually worried I was going to miss this. And then my I don't know if I'm always worried about tipping in the city. I feel like I'm an episode of Seinfeld. So I tipped my the porters downstairs in the package room, but one of them I tipped a little less because he's not as friendly. And he was the one on duty today, and he was just giving me a little attitude. So I'm always worried that I undertipped and they're not going to give me my stuff and stuff. So New York City is complicated for me.
Do you think they talk about it? Does he know that he's getting tipped less?
I think so, because the other guy that I really like, I tipped him probably so I tipped him $100. The guy I really liked. And there's 14 people in our building, between security guard doormen, porters in the package room, and the concierge desk and all that stuff. So there's 14 people, so I wasn't going to give everyone $100. So I had to pick and choose, and I gave everyone something at least. The minimum I gave was 25, but I don't know. I feel 25 is a decent tip for somebody that you don't see all that often, right? This is the stuff that stresses me out.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, this is the first time I've been in a doorman building. I've been in the city for this is year 13. Not all cumulatively, but year 13. Or sorry, not all consecutively, but cumulatively.
Okay, so 13 years in the city?
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Where were you when you weren't living in the city?
So I actually went to Cornell for grad school, for business school. So I was there from 2018 to 2020. And then I was in Pennsylvania for a year due to COVID, just staying with family. And then I moved back into the city in May of last year.
Oh, nice. What part of Pennsylvania are you from?
Near the Amish in Lancaster. If you're familiar with Pennsylvania at all?
Yeah, that's like on the southern part, right?
Yeah, it's 45 minutes directly north of Baltimore.
Yeah, I went to Penn State.
No way.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Sorry for the loss earlier this week, or I guess for the weekend.
I know. I'm like the worst football fan now. I used to go to all the games and always get season tickets when I went to school there, but now I'm like, I want Penn State to win, but I also don't watch all the games.
Oh, okay. Well, so I went to NYU undergrad, which is part of why I've been in the city for 13 years. But NYU doesn't have a football team, so by default, I'm a Penn State fan because that's what I grew up around.
Nice.
And my dad went to grad school there too. So huge Penn State fan, but it's been a disappointing couple of years, I think.
Yeah.
Since,
did you ever go to any of the games?
What's that?
Did you ever go to any of the games?
I went to a game. Oh gosh, this is maybe 10 years ago with my dad when I was really young. This is before I was even in high school. Maybe it was 15 years ago. So that was my one and only Penn State game in Beaver Stadium. It was great. It was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I never, even considered going to Penn State as a school. And then when I went to the game, I was like, hey, this might not be so bad. So I seriously thought about it, but then I settled on NYU.
So what made you choose NYU?
I wanted to be in a city. My older sister, I have one older sister. She's 5 years older than me. She actually went to NYU too, and she had a pretty good experience here. And so, wanted to be in a big city, wanted to be, more of an urban environment coming from, middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. So that was my motivation. I mean, the one thing I will say is that I do kind of regret not having a campus type environment. It would have been nice to have a football game on Saturdays or be able to walk through a quad instead of walking through Washington Square Park where all the homeless people are. Right. So, I kind of feel like I missed out a little bit, but I definitely think I got a different experience entirely. Just being being 18 in New York, and just getting the experience that coming from a really, really small town.
Yeah. So what was it like living in a big city?
That's a great question. I would say there was definitely a little bit of what am I doing? The first freshman year was both the most fun and in the beginning kind of the most scary. Mm-hmm. Just because I wasn't familiar with I hadn't been broken in, let's call it. I hadn't been used to the subways and didn't realize that you really shouldn't go on the subway at 1 a.m. in the morning when you don't have anybody with you. All of that stuff was kind of a little bit of a learning experience for me. But I would say definitely freshman year was the most fun I've had in the city. Now, I feel I'm just an old guy here now, kind of used to everything, but, still fun, still love the city. How about you? It's are you how long have you been in the city? Straight out of Penn State or?
No, I actually grew up in San Diego. So from San Diego to Penn State, I did a year in Richmond and then a couple years in DC, then moved up to New York.
Okay, gotcha. So pretty recent in the city. Were you in the city before the pandemic?
I was, yes.
Okay.
Luckily. And then during the pandemic, I came back to San Diego.
Gotcha. So you got to see kind of pre-pandemic New York, and then now, are you back in the city now?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I mean, technically I still live there, but I'm currently in San Diego. I was here for the holidays and I fly back this month.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, from my business school class, a lot of people hadn't lived in the city, and so they're always oh my gosh, New York is so great, but I feel they never experienced New York pre-pandemic. So a lot of the stuff that I used to go to, there are a lot of bars, restaurants, and stuff like that have closed. So for me, it's kind of a weird experience coming back here after the 3 years that I was away. It just feels like a totally different place.
Yeah. But I do feel over summer, things started opening up again.
Yeah.
It started to feel more pre-New York.
Exactly. I mean, so today was actually my first day back in the city after 2.5 weeks. I was also on vacation and actually it was in Pennsylvania. And it feels kind of eerie right now. I don't know if it's just people still on vacation or if it's people are just super worried about Omicron. Like,
or just it being winter. And cold.
That's it. But I was just like running errands today, and like everything was empty. Like I got my hair cut today. The place was completely empty. I was the only one in the shop, and usually it's like bustling. Like I went to, I sprained one of my fingers, which is a whole different story. So I went to the doctor today, and like there was like literally no one in the doctor's office. So it's just like a weird experience today. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. We'll see what it's like when I come back. If it's
So what do you like to do in the city? Like, do you have like a pretty big friend network from Penn State up here? Or?
Surprisingly, not so much from Penn State. Most of my friends in the city are friends that I met after college.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I love the city, you know, doing like trying new restaurants. I like working out. I know a lot of times my friends and I will like do a workout class and get brunch together after.
Gotcha. Are you a member of Equinox?
No, I'm not. Are you?
I am.
Oh, the one with the pool?
I've only been to the one on Park Avenue. I haven't been to any other one, even though I'm paying for the passport. That's like one of my New Year's resolutions is to try the different Equinox gyms across the city.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of them. I've been to the one in Gramercy and then the one in Brookfield Place.
Oh, okay.
But I've always seen the pool and the one in Hudson Yards. I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so nice.
Is that the one they call the hotel, like the Equinox Hotel?
Yeah, I think so.
At this point in the day, I jumped in to let them know that their date had ended and let them say their farewells.
As a longtime New Yorker, I got a kick out of Peter and Jess's lamenting over doing laundry. It truly is a pain. It was fun to hear them talk about college sports, especially coming from very different schools with very different attitudes about sports. Peter from NYU, sans the football team, and Jess from Penn State, which is all about football. But it was a pleasant surprise to hear that Peter is actually a Penn State fan from his youth. I wonder if they'll go to a Penn State game together someday. Tune in next week where we'll chat with an expert about their date and reveal what happened.
That's all we've got for you today. Shoot us a message on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at TheBlinkDate or at Date in a Blink to let us know what you think. If you want to try voice-first speed dating from the comfort of your home, download the Blink Date app today. You can also sign up to participate in Date in a Blink by visiting our website at www.theblinkdate.com. In the meantime, thanks for joining us for this episode. We hope you enjoyed listening and look forward to talking with you again next time.